This is episode 15, right?
I thought it was 14, but I could be wrong.
No, it's 15. Welcome back to the Overruled podcast. I'm Trevor Bladdock along with Jaden Rioch. Yes, that is our actual open. We really never have an idea of what episode this is. Friday, May 31st, 2019. I almost just said 2015, which brings up more questions than it answers.
Makes sense. Oh my gosh, guess what? You can watch the YouTube live stream, people. Let's go.
You're watching us. That's funny. At least we know it works.
Yeah, I'm right here.
And we're getting levels, which is good. Well, I'm seeing levels on here.
Sweet.
This
so
is
we're
perfect.
Live.
We
Let's
are live.
Go.
This is gonna get us to Cinzetti's very quickly.
Cinzetti's. I don't know if they're open though.
Yeah, they are. They have a lunch.
Well, I know, but like sometimes they close at certain times. I don't know how that works because I know they close for awkward times.
Look it up, I guess.
All right. Yeah, I can look it up too.
Why are we both looking it up?
I don't know, because Cinzetti's is
11:30 to 2, and then reopens at 5.
All right, so we gotta get there. Uh-oh.
I'm thinking we're probably gonna have to do Brooklyn's, which is unfortunate. It's gonna cost like twice as much.
I know. I love Cinzetti's too. So whatever. We'll go next week with Dalton.
Yeah.
Dalton.
Dalton no longer.
Of next week, but we don't know what we're doing this week.
That's a good point. We have our plan for next week. We have no clue what's going to happen today.
Yeah, I like the rapid stuff, Trevor. Would you like to please inform the audience of why?
Because
they're actually on a good
got
streak.
A point. That's my real reason. They got a point in their last
7 points in like the last week.
Yeah, they beat LA Galaxy. Then they, I don't know. Who did they beat last? Oh, they beat Columbus. I think, was it Shinyashiki? I don't know. All I know is that it was like the exact same thing as... No, it was Mosqueda. Nicholas Mosqueda. That's right. Nico Mosqueda had it 2-1 against Columbus. And then we drew with the Union after Jonathan Lewis scored in the 72nd. Why do you keep doing that?
It literally just falls out.
That's what she said. So, yeah. There's big news in the sporting world. Oscar Sundqvist has been suspended.
Who?
Some St. Louis, some dirty player on the Blues who was suspended for probably an illegal check to the head as well as a board. That was filthy. He should have been banned for the rest of the series, if I'm being honest. He doesn't deserve to play again in the Cup final for that disgraceful hit. And yes, I am biased against St. Louis, but it's not like Boston's my favorite team either. I do not like either team.
Isn't it tied at 1?
Yeah, it's 1-1. I think, I don't know. Man, I have no clue. If I had to guess, Game 3's tomorrow. I would have heard about it if it was tonight, because I'm guessing they have Game 3 Saturday, Game 2.
That's in Boston, right?
No.
Okay.
Game 3 is in St. Louis.
Okay. Did I flip it around? Yeah, I did. Okay,
you did.
The first 2 games were in Boston. Yeah.
So, yeah, that'll be fun.
That's the Hockeys.
Yeah. Kawhi Leonard is a thing. Yeah. Although he wasn't last night. That was the Pascal Siakam show. Yeah. That's such a fun name.
And the Drake show.
The Siakam show. Drake in his Del Curry jersey. An autographed Del Curry jersey.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That is too amazing. Like, that is Drake, the Drake curse taken up to
new levels.
The next level. I give him so much credit for that. That's as petty as it gets.
Yeah,
and it worked.
Yeah, I know.
Are you kidding me? It worked.
Well, and clearly he's in their heads a bit, too. They were arguing with Drake after the game.
Draymond came over. Y'all trash.
Even Curry was talking to him. It's
well, I think
funny.
Curry and Drake are friends.
Yeah, no.
So I think that was probably just giving each other crap. But Draymond and Drake were at it.
Yeah, well, Drake has a Curry tattoo.
I mean, if there's a player to get a tattoo of, who else but Curry?
Well, he has a Curry tattoo and he has a KD tattoo. And
they're just such fun players to watch. And he wore a wristband or an armband to cover him up.
Paradise City with its longest run ever.
Full 4.5 minutes. That's right, yeah. I'm looking for another song to play, but I don't even know what to play.
Yeah. No, Drake is such a meme, and I love how the NBA tried to tell him to calm down. You're not telling Drake to calm down. How dare
Like
you?
at the exact same time he said he'll be under control, he shows up in an autographed Del Curry jersey.
And he's on the sideline arguing with Draymond Green. I mean, you're not calming him down.
No, and you shouldn't calm him down. Why does it matter?
NBA, like, why it's such a big deal? He's Drake. Yeah, wish and they wish and they wish and they wish.
I think you could say the
wish,
Raptors winning last night was God's plan.
I honestly do think that the Warriors will still win in 5, but
No, they're not going to win in 5. Well, it really comes down to when KD is coming back. His Boogie play did nothing. I really don't think Boogie's going to have that big of an advantage.
At Warriors. Things that they wishing on me.
I think Durant's going to be the X factor. If he comes back and is effective, the Warriors win the series. My ultimate goal is for the Nuggets and Warriors to meet up next year in the West Finals and the Nuggets to be the team to knock off Golden State, but I guess if Toronto does it, it's cool.
Yeah, I just hope KD doesn't come back.
Yeah.
And Boogie as well. Boogie, it's one of those things, like, he's not good right now, but we saw earlier in the season he was unstoppable at that point.
He played like 7 games.
Played like a month. And a lot of bad things that they wish and they
This is a
wish
throwback
and
to
they wish
Arizona
and
last
they
year
wishing on me.
when this was one of 4 songs that we played essentially on repeat. This with Sweet Caroline, Chocolate Banana, and then
Chocolate Banana is the GOAT.
we know the other song, but it's a little...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not okay. She said, do you love me? I tell her only partly. I only love my bed and my mom and the Raptors. 50 dub. I even got it. Turn it on
Had
me.
it on me.
No. Turn it on me. Turn it on. Doot.
I even got it
Turn an
tatted on
02
me.
into a 03, dog. Hopefully the Raptors can do that.
The 01 to the 02, dog.
They better meet the Broskis at Kawhi.
Kawhi Zabrowski.
So do you think Kawhi stays if they win the finals?
I have no clue. Kawhi's so weird. I really don't even think he's thinking about his future right now. That's just who he is. He's going to be focused on winning tonight or Sunday. That's what he's focused
That's
on.
the nice thing about the Raptors, though. Like, honestly, other than Kawhi, I feel like they're kind of a quiet team. And even with Kawhi, it's just that discussion about the offseason. I mean, the Warriors, it's just everything that they do. I mean, from the KD drama to the Boogie drama, it's just everything.
Yeah. It definitely feels like it's more magnified with the Warriors. Just because they're the Warriors, that's what they do. I mean... It is what it is with them. You just kind of have come to expect that they'll be there year in and year out. And even when I think it's safe to say 3 of the 4 guys are going to leave, and then a year after Draymond, I think it's extremely reasonable to say they'll still be a 5 or 6 seed, maybe even higher with Steph and just Steph. Mm-hmm. He's that good. But
not plenty
they
of cap.
won with Draymond and Clay. And Steph was... I mean, that was a better Cavs team, and it still took them 6, but that Warriors team was special, and they finished them off on the road in Cleveland. And I know their Love was hurt, and Kyrie was hurt as well. It was essentially just LeBron at that point. But that's still a good Warriors team. It's not like you're walking into Phoenix to close out the NBA Finals in front of 75 people. They had to go in front of Quicken Loans Arena and shut it down, and they did. This is, of course... little bit of a throwback to 2016, which is kind of cool. You didn't get that. You never have gotten that same type of buzz around the Warriors that you've gotten from that year, and having it back now because now I don't want to say they're underdogs, because you're never an underdog until you lose a home game in a series. I strongly feel that way. They lost a road game to a really good team. So what? Toronto in their first NBA Finals game. And the Warriors played just well enough to hang in there, but I will say the Raptors just were so close to pulling away and blowing them out. It's not something the Warriors necessarily did to hang in it. It's something that the Raptors did to not pull away.
Yeah, I kind of figured Toronto would win a home game. I mean, it's one of those things. I don't know if they'll win both, but that definitely, with the whole country, on their side and everything, it just felt like the momentum was totally on their side. I mean, even from the game, you could tell that they weren't giving up that lead.
Well, if Durant's... Well, we checked. It was halftime, 59-49. Mm-hmm. And then every time I checked, I probably checked 7, 8 times. It was 11 points, 12 points, 9 points, 8 points. It was always in that range. It was either the Warriors got a bucket to trim it down from 10, or the Raptors got a bucket to push it up from 10. And that's how it went the entire second half. And that would be why the Raptors... It was up, and even Lowry hitting it from near the logo to put the game to bed. Why are you laughing? You were still driving home. I was going to say...
No, I was going to say, I was watching on my phone. I was stopped.
What?
Yeah.
Where were you stopped?
What do you mean? I was at my grandparents' house.
And you went to your
Yeah,
okay, that makes so much more sense.
And I was watching it outside.
That makes more sense, because I was going to say, where were you stopped? Because you take I-25 to get home.
I was just parked. Excuse me.
I'm like, Lowry has the ball. Pull into emergency. Yeah, let's
turn on the hazards.
You go full emergency before the hazards. No, that's what makes it so fun. You have Kyle Lowry, who's been with the Raptors for a while. He was there with DeRozan. Kyle Lowry, it's so weird to say, but you kind of hope they win it for Lowry. And just
Rest in peace, DeMar.
Yeah, well, we took care of him. Him and Aldridge. I think the Spurs series matchup-wise is just so much more difficult than... I'm certain we talked about it. Mm-hmm. The Spurs series, from a matchup standpoint, was much more difficult than the Trailblazers series. But the Blazers had those players where even if you had the matchup advantage in 4 of the 5 positions, if you... that one matchup disadvantage could kill you, and that's what McCollum did in Game 7. I mean, really, it was a good series. It was 2 close teams, and that little bit from McCollum.
Yeah, I was going to say, I felt like all their players stepped up. It wasn't, like, for example, like, our starters were really good, but our bench was kind of booty throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's what was so surprising. And Malone, near the end of the regular season, was using that 8-man rotation, and he needed to bring it up, because I think initially it was going to be TC3, Beasley, and Morris. Those were going to be the 3 off the bench. But then, and Plumlee.
Yeah.
Well, no, it wasn't going to be Torrey Craig. But then all of a sudden, Jamal Murray decided to turn Derek White into prime Michael Jordan. And Michael Malone decided, you know what, maybe this isn't the best course of action. So that's what brought Torrey Craig into the starting position. And honestly, the team just plays so much better with a 9 or 10-man rotation. That's what they did the entire regular season, and I'd say it worked pretty darn well. I really wish that we went back to it. I'm trying to think who would have been that guy off the bench. Juancho had core surgery. He just wasn't a viable option. If he was playing well, I would say absolutely throw him in there, because if you could probably... Well, I mean, if you have Plumlee... I'm trying to think of the other guard. Plumlee, Craig, and Juancho as your forwards, and then Morris and Beasley as... And you can have a full second unit that can run it.
Mm-hmm.
That was almost a starting unit. You had Jokic and a little bit of Murray, who kept spraining his ankle.
Yeah.
But you had that bench unit, and that's what was winning games when Millsap and Harris and Barton were hurt for a good... Barton was 3 or 4 months, but Millsap and Harris were shorter injuries. But still, that's why I wish we got the opportunity to see that full bench unit. And they just weren't playing well. I don't think it had anything to do with the unit. Plumlee just wasn't playing well.
Yeah, until Game 7, he used buns throughout the whole playoffs
and
for the most
Plumlee,
part. I mean, Game 1 and Game 7 were the only one that he showed up.
And it makes sense because Game 7 was our second best game of the series up until McCollum took over in the second half. And again, I don't want to bring this into an issue with the refs again, but the whistle did change. It's okay to say that. The whistle changed. It didn't lose the game for the Nuggets, but in Game 7, you'd like a consistent whistle the entire game. And yes, it would have screwed Portland if you had that whistle the entire game, because they were a little, as Ben would call it, soft fouls. They were still fouls, but it's a tough whistle. However, on the road,
it's
one of those... you kind of.
It was just one of those things they called the soft fouls or whatever you want to
call
call
it
them
soft
at
fouls
the beginning, and then all of a sudden it just changes.
They stopped calling fouls. They called soft fouls on the Portland end and didn't call soft fouls on the Denver end, which, you know what? If they had decided to do that the entire game, you learn to live with that. But the fact they opened up the second half with that is what really put Denver into trouble. They're a young team. I'm confident they'll understand how to respond to not getting the same whistle. Because at halftime, you're up 9, you've been getting a good whistle, and then all of a sudden you come out in the second half and you don't get that whistle.
Well, and pretty much in the locker room standpoint, too, if you're getting a good whistle and you're doing well, it's
you
like,
have nothing
do the
to
same
address.
thing.
You have nothing to address, and then all of a sudden the whistle changes and you can't have success doing the same things. They were just too young to find a way.
You just got to completely change the way you play, too, if you're getting, not any calls. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
You got to change it. I mean, that was the first time I've ever seen Jokic fall on the ground and not get a whistle, too.
He's 8 feet tall, 595 pounds, full of Sprite and Coke.
Yeah, and he fell over, and I'm just like...
He's a Serbian tank, and you knock him over. Unless he's falling over, which he wasn't. He was knocked to the ground, and it takes a lot of skill. Like, we saw, I don't remember who it was, jump on the back of him, and Jokic...
Oh, yeah, that Clippers player.
It was a Wizards player, and he was
yeah.
holding onto the back, and he was fully suspended in the air, holding onto Jokic. Jokic is a tank. You have to foul him to make him fall down.
Yeah.
He doesn't just fall down. I mean, he's the size of Serbia in itself.
And his legs
he's the
are
size
tree trunks.
He's the size of Dreamcatcher, his horse. You have to destroy him.
I don't even think his horse can knock him over, honestly. He could probably get a charge. Blocker charge. Horse versus Jokic.
The horse gets called for a charge. But that's just because Jokic drew the charge. Jokic gets called for a blocking foul because the horse falls down.
Horse injured.
It's funny to talk about that, but it's true. Jokic is just such an amazing, and he's finally getting recognition. We talked about All NBA first team. I mean, that's because that's the only team we cared about.
Yeah.
But it's just so cool to actually see him getting the recognition he deserves, because he clearly deserves it. Nikola Jokic is a very special player, and I don't know why we're talking about the Nuggets right now, because, it's late May and they haven't played in a few weeks.
Yeah.
But it is important to just look at the fact that Jokic is just such an incredibly talented player, and he's only getting better. He's 23.
Well, the thing that makes him incredible...
He's either 23 or 24.
...is, even his defensive end has improved a lot. People say he's crap at defense. He really isn't.
He isn't. He's just awkward and cumbersome, but he's really improved his positioning. Even if you're awkward and cumbersome, positioning is half of the game. If you make them take a bad shot and they miss and you don't really get in the air or anything like that, that's still a great defensive play by you. And that's something that I feel I do decent at. I'm tiny. If you shoot over me, fine. But if you're going in the lane, I'll at least make you move.
Yeah.
And so if you shoot before you get to me, it's going to be an easy layup.
When
But if I make you move, I can force people to miss shots. And that's kind of what Jokic does, except he's 2 feet taller than me.
Well, Jokic, the thing is, too, it's not even always his defensive positioning. It's always the positioning he gets on rebounding, too, that's impressive. To go from, contesting a shot to blocking out the guy next to him.
Like you blocked out the microphone.
Yeah, get out of here.
No, and you're entirely right. That's why he's able to get so many outlet passes, is because he gets great positioning and is able to rebound with one hand, and then he's able to spring it to Murray or Harris or whoever Nugget is breaking free down the court. And that's why we get so many transition points, is because Jokic is just such a phenomenal rebounder. It's one of his overlooked skills, because nothing's flashy about rebounds. It's just a stat that's in the sheet, and you need to do it to win games. But it's very important. And the way he gets rebounds, instead of going up like Plumlee or something and going over his head, and Plumlee's usually, up until the playoffs, inexplicably, was great at rebounds. He'd secure them and then was able to lead them up the floor. But Jokic is just so good with transition. And Plumlee's far more athletic than Jokic. Plumlee can grab that rebound and take it himself down the floor, and we saw that against Dallas back in December.
Coast to coast.
It's such a fun problem to have. I know the listeners have, well, I guess, since the listeners are people we know, they have an idea of it. Most of them do, probably.
Unless you're on YouTube and you don't know us.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jaden.
If you're on YouTube, how did you find us?
Yeah, go away, please. This is a private podcast.
It's not a private channel, but this is a private show. No, but the basketball league I'm coaching and you're playing in. Me as a coach, I was able to go to the rec center and watch you guys play, and actually I had to play myself,
Wow.
which was unfortunate.
Michael Malone scene.
Well, yeah, it's like him at practice playing against his players, getting a good feel for what they do and what they're good at. It was so fun to be able to watch all of you play together and see how you work well together. And you just need to keep working with that top unit. I mean, that's going to be opening day starters, assuming Zach still can't play. That's what the unit's going to be. It's going to be you, Ben, Caden as the forwards, and then Josh and... I know I missed someone. No, I didn't. It's going to be
Blake.
Josh and Blake until Zach comes back.
Okay. Cool.
Because that's our best lineup.
Yeah.
And Kyle, well, I don't even know.
Totally forgot about Zach, to be honest.
When Zach comes back, it'll be Blake first off the bench. Well, I mean, it just depends. 40 minutes with 20-minute halves. It depends on durability, but that's just why it's just such a fun problem to have as a coach. If Kyle is scoring like he was last night and getting rebounds, that's the biggest issue, and he probably won't have to play anyone like Ben.
That was the best Kyle we've ever seen.
I know.
and that was a full court game. I mean, that's kind of where you want to show it off. So it's definitely impressive from him.
I totally agree. And Kyle was just grabbing rebound after rebound. And again, it's because he was playing with Ben.
Yeah.
And I tore into him on the Wednesday for this, is when he gets under the basket, he just stands there. You might be tall, but anyone with a little bit of jumping ability is going to rebound past you.
Yeah.
And that's what Ben kept doing.
You got to get your butt into him, and even if they do get the board.
He just stood there.
Yeah.
And lost every single offensive rebound because Ben would just fly in. And I could see what was going to happen. I'm like, I can't do anything. I'm a foot shorter than you. You should be able to do this. This is literally your job as a forward. And this isn't tear into Kyle Day.
Yeah.
I'm talking about how well he improved and how it's great for our team, because Ben's going to be able to do that to most of the other teams, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Well, and the thing
he's
is,
going to get
too,
75 over the backs, but he's going to get 75 offensive rebounds as well.
That's true. Yeah, but I mean, the thing is about boxing out, too. I mean, especially on players like Ben. I mean, if he gets a board, you still have a chance of getting a foul, even if he doesn't go over the back. Just that aggressiveness. I mean, if you box him out correctly, you can always get an over the back call on that.
Yeah, and that's something he's going to have to learn. And he's actually developed as an outside shooter, which is going to be very important, because it just all size
he also
matchups.
Shoots a lot too.
He shoots a ridiculous amount, but hey, if you're shooting 15% from three, it's better than shooting 0% at Ben Simmons.
Hot L at Ben Simmons.
But our team, a lot of the guys are very similar in height, so they probably could swing between forward and guard. And that is what allows the matchups to play into our favor. And that's why I'm going to have so much fun as coach. I spent an entire season watching the Nuggets, analyzing the matchups and the situations. So now I actually get to do it myself. And it's going to be weird seeing it from the floor instead of seeing it from
the third deck.
And it's easier to see matchups from the third deck. So it's going to be a challenge for me.
True.
But also something that has recently developed, we're going to have to... Well, I guess not technically recently. It's just come to our attention recently. We're going to have to make sure we keep our emotions in check.
No one in particular.
It's actually at two people on our team.
Yeah. No, I know.
Really?
I'll keep my emotions in check, Trevor.
Thanks, Jaden.
You're welcome. I'll go slap him on the butt and be like, hey, it's all good, boys.
But really, we need you to be the floor general. You and Josh... I don't really know if Caden's going to be the general. He's probably just going to be
kind of like... He's kind of going to be like Brandon.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He's going to keep his head down and just play and ball out. But you and Josh are going to need to lead the team.
Indeed.
And that's going to be keeping the two people I have in mind in check when things start to get chippy, because those two aren't afraid to, from what I've heard at least, well, I've seen one and I've heard the other, aren't going to be afraid to square up. And we can't have that. That's not what's going to happen.
Trevor, I square up. Come on.
Oh, Lord. My God. Seriously, I have to make it another 36 minutes after that?
Oof. Good joke.
We're probably going to be... There's an interview a little after 1:30, so we're probably going to end it right at 1:30. So it'll be a little less than an hour.
Oh.
We still have Dalton on next week, and if we actually get here at 12...
At me.
Yeah. It wasn't... Well, I mean, it was your fault, but there was a lot of traffic. Yeah. There's always traffic. That's what's great about Colorado.
Yeah. You go vroom, vroom, and then you go stop for like...
However, if Cinzetti's closes at 2 and then reopens at 5, then we'd run into the same issue. because it's still like a 20-minute drive, and if the show ends at 1, we'd get there at 1:30, and it's 30 minutes. So
30 minutes is better than no minutes.
Well, yeah, but it just seems.
And we could just have it a little bit earlier next week.
Yeah, we can ask maybe like 11:30, something like that.
Okay, cool.
I can never sleep, so waking up early is a great way to reset. My body just needs to reset.
Cue the memes.
Me sleeping is a giant L, so me waking up early is a reset. Honestly, it is. It's sad, but it's true. I-25 is a disaster. We need to blow the highway up. Just destroy it.
Open up E470.
But it is open.
Nah, so it's not a fee.
Well, even if you get... My old car had a little sticker on it, so you could drive on it for like $1 a mile or something, which still obviously adds up. But
yeah.
If you're coming home from the airport...
No, because that was the original plan with E470. It was supposed to be a toll road until it paid, and then they paid it off, and then they were going to open it up, and then they never did.
Okay, that's stupid. I don't understand toll roads. Because
I understood that concept of a toll road where you paid for it off. To me, I love that idea. But as soon as you pay it off, open it up.
But New York, I understand because there's no. They make you pay. The bridges and tunnels are toll roads. That's like how to get from like New Jersey to Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
But
just swim.
Yeah, no. But to get across the river, you have to pay. But E470 being toll makes no sense because there's...
Well, it doesn't even really go anywhere.
It goes... You can take it... It's
pretty
essentially
much all the way up to
225.
Yeah.
But... And then it merges with I-25 once you get north of the airport, I believe.
Yeah,
so it merges with something.
Well, yeah, it goes up to I-25. I forgot what road it is. I go it on
It goes
all
to
the time.
Pena.
Yeah, it's like... I don't know what road that is, but yeah, it's about that area. It keeps going further. I mean, if you keep going on it, it merges onto another toll road that takes you to Boulder.
There's a toll to get to Boulder? Oh no, that's probably the toll that we see, right?
Yeah, well, it goes to E470, and then it transfers to another toll road that goes to Boulder.
Is it the toll road that's kind of in the middle of 36?
Yeah, kind of in that area.
Like the middle of I-25 and then takes you to no, not... I'm not crazy. It is 36. It's not 93. 93 is the one that gets closed because of wind and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what... This has been talking transportation. But, no, it is important to talk about highways because they do impact infrastructure for sports. We do have to try to relate this back to sports at some point.
Sports.
But when you have highways like E470 that really don't do anything, that's why... I never feel bad about not taking it.
All right, E470 goes all the way to Northwest Parkway, which is a toll road.
Northwest Parkway.
And that'll take you pretty much to Boulder.
Alrighty then.
Because that's pretty much a straight shot to Flatiron crossing there.
Oh, the mall.
Yep.
I like it. Yeah, that's...
Transportation.
Well, might as well throw in weather while we're at it. Actually, I don't know the weather. I mean...
The weather...
Outside of 74
building,
and partly cloudy.
I have lights. That is my weather.
No, let me actually pull it up. I want to see...
All right.
I checked...
Oh, it rained last night.
Yeah, I know, when we were leaving.
Yeah.
I checked.
Vroom Vroom got a car wash, everybody.
People don't know what Vroom Vroom is. They just think you're weird.
Vroom Vroom is my car.
Yeah.
It got a car wash, and it looks nice.
Let me go 7-day forecast. I hope I'm not on like some Oklahoman city, which would make sense because tornadoes and stuff. Speaking of, there's been a lot of powerful tornadoes. I'm assuming you saw the video of the Dayton weather guy flipping out.
Yeah.
Because it was Monday night, so during The Bachelor, and people.
Well, there's also that Twitter one where those kids were playing outside while the tornado was in the background. That
would be me. They were warming up for their baseball game.
Yeah.
There was just a tornado chilling in the background.
Yeah, it was just like, hey guys, how's it going?
I would give so much. I mean, to be safe, because if it turns, you're screwed. Like, you can't.
Well, yeah.
It either hits you or it misses you. You really can't do much to get out of the way at that point. Like, you can run as fast as you can, but if it turns, it's probably coming fast enough where you just got to hope it misses. But, yeah, it's kind of fun. That's just such an amazing video. Did you see the video from Chile? I don't think it was a recent tornado, but there's just a tornado that was taken from an apartment building. It came probably 300-400 feet.
Chile?
Yeah.
Like the country?
Yeah.
There's tornadoes there?
Apparently.
I didn't know that. Well, because I know the United States
was
probably
like
gets them worse, but I don't know if other nations, like, how much they
We get like 1,000 tornadoes a year or something. It's amazing. I love it. You can watch severe coverage on the Weather Channel from February through November.
I don't think Europe gets that many tornadoes.
They don't.
Europe.
Canada gets tornadoes, but it's, like
Very
North
rare.
Saskatchewan or something. There's no one there.
Wow. Tornadoes just like, I'll pick up the ice.
Ice NATO. Haven't we seen a movie like that?
Tornado with sharks.
Yeah. It's 72, but I think there's...
How'd be scary tornadoes just throwing ice spears at people?
It's May and it's late May, early June in Colorado. It's
tornado season.
Well, yeah, but my point is there's a chance of an afternoon thunderstorm literally every single day.
40% rain every day.
I mean, basically, yeah. There's 10% this afternoon, 20% at night, 30% tomorrow, 30% sunny. 30 is basically a safe number. It's saying there's going to be storms. I can't guarantee you're going to
Rain?
get them.
Who knows?
I mean, basically what 30% is that there's going to be clouds. Whether they develop into full-blown thunderstorms, we're not sure. But essentially, you're going to get clouds in the afternoon. That's just June in Colorado. And I love it. That's why, our softball game Tuesday
is going to get rained out.
No, it's not. It's probably going to be in the 60s, though, because it's going to be
nice.
A high of 83, but we play at 8:55. So we start at 8:55. That's a good idea. Good point. I don't know when you play your first game.
No clue.
Because it's going to be before us, obviously.
As soon as I get texted, hey, Jaden, show up, I show up.
All right. It seems foolproof until...
And then I show up like 10 minutes late. So
umpires don't care, apparently.
Yeah, the umpires are just like, Jaden playing on 2 teams? Respect.
We're going to need to figure out, this is talking about Big Iron, we're going to need to figure out how to create an infield that, can field the ball.
Yes.
And I honestly do not care if they hear this.
Pegged.
Well, don't
that
be
hurt.
on the other team, apparently.
I'll just always be the batting.
And Ryan, I was talking to Ryan last night during basketball.
Go
For
Ryan.
Those of you who don't know, and I'm certain
Ryan.
none of you know, Ryan Good is on our basketball team, and he's also on the softball team.
We might have him on the podcast one day.
That's a good point. That would be awesome. That'd be fun to have him
basketball.
on. Yeah. If he knows Dalton, maybe next week. Because
I don't know, he might have to work or something. He always works.
Ryan?
Yeah, he always works.
That's working.
Yeah, he
Bed
works
Bath
at
and
Bed
Beyond.
Bath and Beyond.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. No, but he was talking how he was nervous. He didn't know where to play for first base. I think that's a big issue. There's wanting to play positions and there's knowing.
Yeah.
And I don't want this to turn into last year where you're set in your position for the entire season, and then if you don't have a position, you sit on the bench. That's not how it should be. It's rec softball. But to the same extent, I'm not going to
like to field a little bit.
I don't want to play pitcher because I know it wouldn't go well. I don't want to play outfield because I was never good even when I played baseball. It's just hard to read it off the bat. And even though I'm fast, I'm not fast enough to make up going in. Like, I'm just slow to read it off the bat. I can field it fine. It's just reading it off the bat. I can field ground balls. I'd much rather play second, but considering that what we saw from the left side of the infield, I feel that Brandon should play shortstop.
I feel like all our left field, like even off in the outfields, like infield on the left side is buns too.
What's is funny?
You know what? I'm going to do it at Anthony. Stop scooping the damn ball. Get in front of it.
Well, and that's the big issue is...
He's not a bad infielder. It's just he literally doesn't get in front of it, and it's triggering.
If you're good enough at it, you can scoop it. But Brandon is the only player I've seen who can, and that's because he played in college.
Yeah, with consistency.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I'd imagine, like anything, I mean, he can miss a scoop too. I mean, it's not like it's a perfected art.
Like you saw in the game when there was a low throw from the outfield and I had to scoop it. The runner actually took an extra base because they scooped it, and my option was either let it go to the backstop or scoop it. And I scooped it, and when I got to the top of my scoop, it flew out.
I remember that.
At that point, it didn't matter. I'm like, oh, that wasn't good. That was not optimal.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, Ryan said, I didn't know where to play. And I told him, well, if you ever don't know where to play, talk to Jaden or me. I would say Brandon, but I'm not sure, because he keeps to himself, and Eli or Matt, which is fine. I get that. I wouldn't, these aren't his friends. He's only here because of me.
Go Trevor.
He talks to me, and then whichever friend he brings along.
Oh, and he talks to me.
He does?
Yeah, he texted me.
Seriously? That's funny.
Yeah, he saw me and he's like, hey, what's up, man?
Good.
I'm like,
good.
I mean, we went to lunch together, or dinner together, Trevor. Come on.
I know, but still.
Yeah, he talks to me.
There's people I've gone to dinner with that I don't talk to.
Ooh.
At Blake. No, just kidding.
Blake, no one loves you. Blake hate.
Blake hate, yes. I was going to say that. But no, am I talking weather? How did the Giants score a touchdown? I was just looking at the weather for a few minutes. 49-42, 7-11.
Oh, the Giants are going to beat the Saints.
I would take the under on that.
No. What year is it, Trevor?
2015.
All right, 2015.
November 1st, I've made it that far.
Oh, okay.
I've made it far. When you start back August 3rd or something.
What year did you start in?
Oh, only 2015 because the Broncos won the Super Bowl.
Ah, okay.
I went through and watched all the games that they had Madden moments from Madden 11, so 2009 season.
Okay.
But I did not watch every single game.
How do you even get that? Did you buy all these games, or did you go like NFL whatever?
It's Game Pass. It was $20 or something because it was at the end of the season. Like, for $20 for something I'm gonna use, all right. And it's great to just have on as background. That's what I do. It's not before people are thinking, "Oh my God, he's watching every game." Yes,
it's just
but
audio noise.
It's essentially like binge watching a TV series. I'm not sitting here. Well, it's not binge watching a TV series. It's like falling asleep to the TV on it. I'm not. You don't watch the TV when you fall asleep to it.
Yeah, you just kind of notice it.
I just have it on.
Yep. Go Eli Manning, the GOAT.
Yeah, I love Eli. It sucks that it's coming down the way it is, but...
Eli's the man.
Yeah, I really like him.
Except
I sleep in a Super
currently.
Bowl. Well, what's really funny is, so we lost 18-1 in our softball debut as Big Iron. Yeah, Major L. But I sleep in a Super Bowl 42 shirt for the Giants, which ironically enough, we're also the 1 in 18-1.
Oof.
Major L off in the outfield. However, we didn't blow an 11-1. 18-1 is demoralizing, but you just have to feel so helpless when you're up 11-1 and then just completely implode. Because that's off in the outfield. That's your other team. That's the team I was on last year. Mm-hmm. They were up 11-1 and lost 18-12.
11-1, yeah, that was stupid.
They got outscored 17-1.
Yeah, I think that we scored one more run after that.
Yeah.
After the first inning, I think
and I think you went down 18-11. You gave up 17 straight, and then you scored run.
No, I think they went ahead 13-11, and then that last inning, or then they put up 5, and then that was it.
Well, no, my point is they did go up 13-11, then you didn't score, then they put up 5. It was 18-11, then you scored to make it 18-12.
Yeah.
You took a line drive because you decided to not get in ready position.
Yeah, L at me. Oops, sorry, Mike. L at you too.
Yeah, but mostly L at you because you got hit in your hernia.
Yeah. Go bladder.
But softball, you have to find the right mix. For 9 games last season, I mean, I wasn't there for the season finale, the regular season finale. So for 8 games, I would have to say, it was fun. It was legitimately fun. Mm-hmm. We were having fun. It was mostly just our friends. And then we started bringing in college players, Caleb's friends, and we just started bringing in people that weren't part of the team.
Who were competitive
who couldn't even play in the championship, which is beyond me because the whole idea is, well, Trevor,
we pretty much signed loan players.
They were rentals, essentially.
Yep.
But imagine you sign, like the Dodgers last year with Manny Machado, but Manny Machado couldn't play in the World Series.
This is true.
Because they check ID and found out you're not on the roster.
Oof.
But that's what I don't want that to have happen. It's already starting a little bit, but...
Well, I mean, to an extent, I feel like it's bound to happen.
It is bound to happen, but at the same point... we have to use our talent. We don't need to go and get talent just because we played them at the wrong positions last week.
We don't need to go get talent.
It's rec league softball. We don't need to go out and get talent. We have enough talent. Honestly,
if you're a listener here and you can play softball pretty good, hit us up.
We could get away with having you at first, Brandon at short, and either me at second or third.
The thing about pitchers, it's not like a hard position.
If you learn how to do it, it's the height that's the
thing about
issue.
pitcher though is you have to back up everyone. I mean, the thing, especially about softball, like with everyone not being so good. I mean, that's the only thing I do is back up everyone to make sure nothing stupid happens.
Yeah, and believe me, stupid things will happen. Even last year, stupid things will happen. I will never understand why people treat me like I'm 6 feet tall. I'm 5 feet tall. Throw it lower.
L.
If you throw it 6 feet tall, it's not like we're going to get the out in the first place. So why does it matter? Just aim low.
L at people who are short.
AKA me. But, and this was my issue last year. I mean, that was why there was a rift that grew. It's because they were mad at me for not jumping for balls 5 feet over my head. Well, first off, maybe you would have gotten it with a taller catcher. But to the same extent, it's not like you would have gotten the out even if I had caught it.
IT needs to grow another foot to contest shots. That's the equivalent.
Essentially, yeah. And it's benching him for that and saying, well, you need to still contest shots. I'm like, well, it's not going to do anything. It's essentially, even if I do get up to contest, it's not like anything's going to happen because he's just going to go over me.
Yeah. He'll just go up to my chest.
Yeah, and that's what I hate about that. What happened last year is sure, I understand not being thrilled with me being short, but the fact of the matter is I know how to field the position.
We're not thrilled with being short either.
Well, exactly. If you throw the ball low, I'm going to catch it, and we're going to have a play. If you throw it high, we're not going to have a play because it's going to take too long to catch the ball and go down. So it doesn't matter. That was my big issue. And that's what even Ryan, when he threw it to home in our game, he put it right at my chest. Fine. That's perfect. Especially in rec league where they're not going to slide for the most part. That's where you want it. That's where you want it to be. The chest is perfect because you can just move like this and have your hand there. Mm-hmm. If you throw it low, then you catch it around the shins and it might get kicked out. But chest high is perfect. So.
Not if you're Jorge Posada.
What?
I was talking about the Derek Jeter flip when he's just like.
But that was like chest high.
Yeah, he flipped it and he like turned around and slapped him.
I know.
Jorge Posada.
I know who caught it.
Oakland Elzay.
Tell me who was thrown out running.
Probably Jason Giambi. I don't know.
Jeremy.
It was one of the Giambis. Jason Giambi's the cooler one.
True, he was the better one as well. Jeremy, one of the inaccuracies in Moneyball is that Jeremy Giambi was signed. That's not true. He was already on the A's.
Loser.
He was on the A's in 01. So 02 Moneyball, them signing Giambi was kind of pointless because he was already on the team. I mean, they dramatized
Moneyball.
A lot of parts of Moneyball.
That's kind of the point of a movie.
And Peter Brand was based on a real character. It wasn't Peter Brand.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
I loved Jonah Hill's character. He was awesome, but it was based on a real character. It wasn't the real person that he wished not to be his likeness in there, but at NCAA video games. But
woof. You've been roasted, Metro.
Wait.
We want Metro and NCAA football. Give it to us.
We just want NCAA football. We really can't do anything about Metro because,
I'll go personally talk to them.
Division I team.
They're not even a division team in football.
Exactly.
But we could try.
They're kind of like the Rams.
Yeah, we're like FCS West pretty much.
Except FCS is still Division I.
Oof.
So, sorry, Metro. No, I mean, this is, Metro. I can feel this bottoming out. But I totally forgot. No, going back to softball, you have to find, like I keep saying, the right mix. And that's why I really hope he doesn't listen because this is going to make him mad if he hears it.
Don't listen. Turn off your whatever if you're listening.
You and I understand how it works, and we understand how to mix talent with letting everybody play. I feel we should be the ones making the lineups.
Okay. I think we should let Michael Malone.
Well, I am Michael Malone for basketball.
Okay.
But again,
my ears.
I'm going to know how to, for basketball, everyone's still going to play, but I'm going to know how to use the rotation. Mm-hmm. And we're going to put the best players on the floor, and we're guaranteed to at least have one starter on the floor at all times.
Yeah, and my friend doesn't care if he comes off the bench. He
Alex?
Just wants to play. Yeah, he told me that. He's like, I just want to play. And I'm like, cool, fair
enough.
And
for the most part, if you're tired, and as Josh said, him and Ben are going to... He said him and Ben are going to be tired. I mean, because they just go more difficult. Although the great thing about Josh is why would you ever want to guard him up close if you're just in rec league?
True.
Where he screens me and I have to wipe off my hands. He's fine with this. He understands this. We're allowed. He makes fun of it too. We all make fun of it. This isn't me being mean, but
you're being mean, Trevor.
It legitimately could be an advantage.
Podcast.
Or not. But he is a tremendous basketball player.
Love you, Josh.
We really do. We love you, Josh.
Come on the podcast someday.
Yeah, actually, now that it's summer.
Yeah, come on. Don't be such a loser and not come on.
Wow, that's rude.
I know.
We should probably invite him.
We already have.
We invited him like 2 months ago.
Yeah, and then we invited him when Blake came.
Last week?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And he said no.
We invited Josh?
Yeah, and he said no because he was going up to Boulder.
Oh, that's right. I barely invite anybody.
I invite everyone.
Yeah, you invite everybody, and sometimes it gets you into
Plumlee.
trouble. Have you really?
Yeah, I tweeted him one time.
Wait.
He didn't like it, but he did like one of my tweets earlier this week, so we're on good talking terms.
Alrighty. It worked. Actually, your tweet did work. You tweeted him for him to release his end of the year blog,
and he
did like 2 days later.
Yo,
which
amazing.
Is hilarious.
That means he listened to my advice. And like I said, I was only the second like in the last 3 months for Mason Plumlee. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm pretty much Mason Plumlee's best friend.
I'm excited to coach basketball. I really hope we do get that league going. I mean, we will. It's just finding the right day.
Plumlee said he's going camping. We should just go up and down the mountains to see if we can find him.
You do realize how big the mountains are, right?
One day.
No, it's not. It literally wouldn't be one day. It would be a lot of days.
We'll just ask the wild animals. Keep your eyes out.
Oh, I have
for
big
Plumlee.
news about me. I am no longer a communications. Well, I mean, technically I still am, but I'm not going to be a communications major.
He's a journalist.
Yeah, I have to be. I have to do a journalism major because broadcast used to be the concentration for communications, but now they switched it over to journalism. So, journalism.
Yeah.
Let's go, journalists.
Major political science, minor who knows. So.
So I need to take care of this. So I need to set up another appointment with a counselor next week, so I can get set up in journalism classes.
I'm taking a journalism class next semester.
I took journalism last semester, which was fun. I liked it. It was a good class. I really liked the teacher.
I just don't know what my minor will be, so I've kind of been taking one class.
Anyone wanting to take a journalism class, Thomas
Find
Locke.
Trevor.
I love him. He's awesome.
He's a lock of a good teacher.
I mean, he's a tough teacher, but he was a fun teacher. I liked him.
I don't know any of my teachers' names, but they were all solid.
Wait, you seriously?
No, I know Professor O, but that's only because he named himself Professor O.
Sungwon?
And then there's Professor, I don't know how to say his last name, but I always called him Professor X, and he was cool with it. Everyone called him Professor X. But it was because he's our East Asian studies teacher.
Oh,
so I couldn't pronounce. I didn't want to be rude, so we just call him Professor X.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
No, but I'm going to be a journalism major with an emphasis in communication. That'd be pointless. With an emphasis in broadcasting.
Emphasis.
And a minor in meteorology.
Just
go weather.
Weather.
I'm so excited. Well, I don't know if I talked about it last week, but
no.
After the last taping of Weather Now.
What is Weather Now?
It's the show. Nathaniel Ortega, Kaylee Reynolds, and Brendan Minchef.
Nathaniel?
Watch them. Yeah. Watch their show.
Having a similar name to the goat.
Oh yeah, that's right. It took me a second. Like, Nathaniel, why is that the goat? I'm like, oh yeah. Warrior fan KD35.
We've invited him on the podcast.
We have. He hasn't done an official. I think that at some point. I mean, he
will. It's just
I really do
when,
think
honestly.
He will.
Yeah.
We need to. It's summer. We need to get Nicola Goatkitch on here.
Yeah, this is true too.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. That could really help our outreach because they have fans as well.
Yeah, we have a wide sphere of influence.
No, but that'd be really cool if we could do that.
And I will call our season ticket representative about getting a Nuggets player on here. I don't think it'll happen. I'm not on here, but on the phone at least.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'll happen, but we're going to try.
Plumlee forgets the duck and takes out the beam on the door.
Plumlee, are you okay? No, I'm out for the season with a fractured skull. Ah, damn.
Like, Jaden, this is all your fault. No, but I'm really excited. I knew what I was going to do. It's not like I didn't know what I was going to do, but I was just kind of going along with it and seeing where things would go. But I'm really glad I met with an advisor because you know how mad I would be if, junior year, I finally meet with an advisor. I'm like, oh, yeah, you can't be a communications major. Oh, crap. So I'm following the footsteps of my cousin Brandon, switching a major. 2 years, 2 majors. Let's go.
Haven't switched my major, but we're good.
No, I want to stick with journalism, and meteorology is a minor. No, but going back to the weather now, that's a weather show stylized as Weather Underground, which airs on the Weather Channel.
Whoa.
Just a very laid back, informative, where they explain weather. And I help.
Weather Underground sounds like an uprising group. Weather Underground.
But I help. I'm the technical director on that show, which is great experience for me. But they said, when we all graduate, we want you to carry on the show. I'm like, I don't know whether or not. No, but so I do need to. I'm excited about that.
I'm officially invited to Weather Now.
No, you're
this is
not.
Fantastic.
Jaden,
I accept my position.
You can help direct it, but you don't know enough about weather to actually be on the show.
Okay, then I'll direct it. You've heard it here, folks. I'm directing Weather Now.
But you need to know how to do it.
I don't know how to do it, but we'll learn.
I didn't know how to technical direct.
Let's do it. I would love to talk about the weather. Like
Brendan,
I've told everybody, weather, and then water, and then clouds form, and then maybe snow. But like sometimes if it's warm enough, then water happens.
It's always snow.
Oh, then snow and then it melts if it's too warm when it comes down, and then it's like, I'm raining now.
In Florida.
But if it's still too warm, then it's like ice.
In climates extremely warm like Florida, high up in the clouds, it's actually warm enough where it forms as rain. I think in Colorado, I believe it's the Bergeron process.
Bergeron.
Oh no, that's right. Because in Florida, it's something collision. I can't think of it.
Player, Bergeron.
Patrice Bergeron. That's what
you're
thinking of. I always think of it too.
He's in the air. He's with us.
Patrice Bergeron, yes. The collision. I can't think of the entire name of it. It's something to do with collisions.
The water cycle.
No. But the water droplets, because it's water, they collide with each other and they attach. And so they absorb and they become bigger and bigger and bigger. And when they become too heavy to keep floating around in the cloud, they drop. And that's rain. In the Bergeron process, it's ice crystals.
Okay.
And then they keep accumulating. And if it stays cold all the way through, it snows all the way down. But when they leave the cloud, if it's warm, it melts. That's why if you've ever been to Florida, the rain is warm.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's warm enough in the clouds where it's rain the entire time.
Oh.
Whereas
I could get burnt by rain.
No. Whereas in Colorado, it's always cold because it's melted ice.
Okay. That's true, though.
Just kind of interesting to talk about. It's really cool. And that's why I love these meteorology classes. I've learned so much about weather. And if you can't tell, I really like weather.
I do know more about weather than I put on, but not much more.
Well, I mean, you probably just know a lot because I talk about it. You're bound to absorb half of what I talk about.
Not true. Maybe 10%.
Well, I mean,
I'll remember the Bergeron effect.
Yeah, I mean, it's
because it's a hockey player.
Exactly. Patrice Bergeron, the Bergeron process is...
I'll just think of a hockey player falling from the sky.
Honestly, why not?
Because he's ice hockey, and it works.
Ice hockey, ice process. Maybe that's why they named it. They named it after Patrice Bergeron. Let's get that rumor started.
Yeah, it started here.
What would be fun is if we got...
it didn't start here.
You'd probably hate it, but if we got Brendan on the show... the podcast, because he knows sports. We could talk about sports with him. He's also a soccer fan.
And he likes the lightning.
He does. Hockey, and I don't think he'd want to talk about hockey.
I don't think it's his favorite sport currently.
Well, Orlando City SC is not.
Speaking about soccer, the Champions League's tomorrow, the final.
Chelsea kept Arsenal out of the...
L at Arsenal.
Oh, crap! College baseball's on. I meant to talk about it, but I totally spaced.
I don't know anything about college baseball.
Coastal Carolina and LSU are my two teams. I like them. I need to see actually what's happening. This will be the last part of the show. Coastal's down 7 in the 8th, which makes me sad. That sucks.
Whispers, go Liverpool.
Campbell is up 1 on NC State. Southern Miss is beating Arizona State by 11. Nebraska's leading UConn by 1. Indiana State's leading McNeese by 1. Mississippi State leading Southern by 2. Arkansas up on Central Connecticut State by 5. North Carolina up on UNC Wilmington 3-1. Illinois State leading Indiana 6-2. Florida State upset Florida Atlantic. Might have been an upset. I don't know. 13-7. Later on today in the Baton Rouge Regional, LSU hosts Stony Brook on ESPNU. That makes me sad. I really thought Coastal Carolina could beat Auburn.
And our under 20 team in soccer
made
the round of 16.
I saw that. That was cool.
Yeah, so that means the future's bright for USA Soccer.
Okay, so it is 1:30, so it's time to wrap things up. I'm sorry it's a shorter podcast. Next week, if we're both on time, we'll be able to have a longer show.
At me.
It wasn't your fault. I know traffic.
Stupid traffic.
Such is
Fight
life.
me. And Walmart. Fight me, Walmart. Fire me if you're listening, but don't fire me. I love you. I want money. West Virginia.
Jen Rioch and Trevor Blatnick.
Liverpool.
I'm Trevor Blatnick.
Is gonna win tomorrow.
What channel's it on?
My microphone came unplugged. I can't find the ear thingy. Uh-oh, this is a problem.
Oh, no. All right. So, for Jen Rioch, I'm Trevor Blatnick saying so long from episode 15 of
Don't
Overruled.
tell them what I think. Love you guys. I belong. Drake clapping gif. Go Toronto. Baby dinosaurs win the finals.